ground was wet and the sky was dark. Took her bet, she took your heart.
I don't know.
Wrapped it around an oak tree like you did that 67 GT.
So welcome back, friends. We've got another cool project for you guys today. So Brian and Jack and I are working on this. And what we have here is we've got 6-seater 4x4s that I am priming and prepping for paint. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to build a really cool yardage markers on our range out to the north on the property, out to 600 yards. And I was kind of thinking, you know, it's when we have folks over, and since we have such a nice range set up, people are asking, hey, can I come over? It'd be nice to have these laid out, because we know what they all are, but sometimes when I'm spotting for someone, I'm like, go ahead and go on the 300, 400, 500, and there's a little bit of confusion. So I thought, let's do it really nice, and we're going to do these posts as markers. So what we're going to do is we'll do like an airport style. So we have the red and white with a nice military style stencils on it, but you'll see here. So I'm just putting this first coat of primer. There are 6 posts here for the 6 targets, as I said, out to 600. And when this dries, then we'll paint them white, and then we'll start doing the striping. So while we're waiting for that paint to dry, Brian and I are going to clean up that. We have a little hump in our bridge there, so we're going to run the chalk line across there, mark that off and cut that off flush, and then we'll lay out. And I think we have all the stuff picked out for the handrails, right?
Yep, we do.
We've got some nice posts for that, so we'll trim that up real quick, and then we'll jump into it. Yeah, I'd go right to the cut edge there, and I'm going to have to kind of estimate. Yeah, look at that.
How much higher it is, yeah.
We must have got hung up on a little nub or something. All right, go ahead and pull me a little bit tighter. And are you happy with that?
It looks good on this side, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a snap. So we snapped the line, and just as we thought right there, you can see on the blue line, somehow, when we did the original chalk line, it got, must have got moved. But we need to trim anywhere between, probably about almost an inch right there, off that one side. So we'll trim that off real quick. We'll freestyle it, and then we can get to work on the layout.
I'm taking all the gray off this lug so we can use it for our handrail.
Stephen Hawking, he discovered black holes before anybody had ever observed a black hole. You know, he was able to figure out mathematically, like, hey, these things have to exist.
Would you grab the small forest axe? It's in the back of the tractor. So what I've done right here is this is the very center of the bridge. I've cut a mortise in here at just what is it? Probably 6 degrees or so. So to get an average, see how it's a bit of an angle there. So we'll just lay something like this flat across here, and when we cut these, this will give us a whole average across the face of the log. And look in here now, and we have to. I got it backwards. We have to cut that mortise to fit that angle on all 3 sides here. So we'll check it like that there. See, we're a little bit off there in the bottom, and then here.
Off on the bottom.
A little bit right there, but we'll clean that up. But what we need to do now is we need to cut the tenon in the log. Overcompensating. that lodgepole is incredibly dense.
Yeah. A nice feel to it.
It does. Got a lot of twist in it.
Yeah, that one's like a spiral. Barber poles.
You can just shave that last bit pretty good. Let me see a little bit of saw action there. How close are you on your...
Well, I was just gonna double check. I'm getting close, but I don't think I'm quite there.
Cut that waste out of that. Right there. Except for we're not down low enough. Have to bring it up a little bit. Okay, hold it right there. Would you jump down and see it? Is it reaching the bottom of the mortise?
Nope.
How far does it have to go?
I'd say 4 inches. Oh wait. Probably 3 inches.
3 inches? Okay, so I've got to cut those a little bit tall, a little bit higher next time. Okay, Jack, let's make sure we keep these posts next to their mortises, because they're all kind of custom fit. So this will be number 1. Brian's working on 2. And 3 is done.
3 is done. 4 and 5 are done.
Let's check the fit on 3, Jack.
Number 4, we're gonna have to shim because for some reason I got the angle way wrong.
Okay.
But apart from this is the last one I'm working on right here.
Okay, no problem. We can shim that. Down to the bottom of our mortise.
Yes.
That looks good. Okay, so that one's done. Let's go to, do we have another post? How many have I cut? Only 3?
There's one right there on the other side. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that one there. Okay.
There is I saw a bigger one. There's a YouTuber, Canadian prepper, I think. He had one that was twice that long. But on the video, I think it wasn't in production. I don't know if they made it special for him or where he got it. But I think this is the smallest of the 3. There is one bigger than that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the heat's not fun, but everything else is pretty fun.
No, and the heat's not that bad yet. Could and will be worse. I should have brought my carpenter's axe over.
Oh, that'd be good for that. Do a little bit more on that side, Jack.
I was going to. I'm just.
Yeah, let's finish one side before we move on.
The nice thing, you get that standing grind, it allows you to get the axe closer to the face.
Yes, that's where it shines, isn't it?
Yep.
You noticed how in Star Trek the universe has no sorts of laws? If somebody fires upon you, instead of carting them away to prison, you fire upon them and destroy them.
Yeah, it's a wild frontier. How's our depth?
That's actually like perfect.
It's perfect?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. That's the last of the 5. All right, that's it for today's show. We had a pretty good showing. We've got the 5 posts cut. We got the Brian cut the majority of the mortises. Jack and I cut the tenons on the uprights.
We did many things.
We made a lot of chips here. Next time I'll get the lag bolts, the galvanized bolts, and then we'll bolt this thing on, get everything shimmed and all lined up, and then we can put the handrails on. I think I mentioned this, but if I didn't, if you're just joining us, this bridge is a copy of a temporary bridge that was designed by the United States Forest Service. So in the wintertime, if a stream washes out the main bridge, volunteers will go in and put one of these up, and they have a handrail on one side. So it's safe for hikers and whoever recreating peoples can go across until they have the time, resources, and funding to replace the bridges. So that's it. So next time we'll put the full rails on. I think we're really fortunate. Brian, you picked out a couple. We have a couple long rails that we can get in one piece.
That's right.
Yeah, it's 24 footers that are nice, even. Don't have a lot of taper in them. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And then we have a beautiful place picked out to span where the bridge is going to span. It's 2 streams coming together and a little mini waterfall. It's really nice. So
is there shade there?
There is shade.
Yes.
Yeah, it's underneath the big twin Doug fir trees. And then we could get to surprise Mrs. W. She doesn't know what we're doing. All she knows is we're out here chopping on a log and making a big mess in her yard.
Which we do a lot of anyway.
Yes, yeah. So we'll surprise her with that. So, all right. Thanks for watching, and thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you guys on the next video.
Don't think I could be any more proud of that boy. He is shaping up, thanks to his mother, shaping up, turning into quite a fine young man. You know, as you guys have known, Jack and I recently got into dirt bikes, and the reason why, the main reason why, is to give us something to do together that we really enjoy. And I'll tell you, last weekend, we went riding. Brian was with us, and another friend of mine, Jesse, who's a very experienced rider, and he took us to a place that was pretty challenging, that we'd never ridden before. And it was a lot of climbing and difficult trail conditions. And Jack and Brian, to both their credit, man, they persevered and they got themselves up to the top. And those of you who follow my Instagram page, I included a picture of that. It was a magnificent view. And more important than that it was a magnificent accomplishment for Jack. It was, he's in that transitional stage, where he's coming out of childhood and into becoming a young man. And it's really important for me to have him to have these achievements and to make a very definite line of transition. I don't want him to have to live in that gray area and be 30, 40 years old wondering if he has stepped into manhood. And to be able to, for him to be around these positive role models, good men like Brian and some of the other friends that I have that volunteer at the fire department, it was just wonderful. It was wonderful to see him come up and to sit with us there and to be an equal. He got himself up there. He overcame his fear. He overcame the challenge, and he had every right to sit up on top of that hill with the 3 of us, and I just couldn't have been more proud. On the way home, we talked about, what we wanted to do in the future, and what we were going to do with the last few years that we have, and we decided that it was time for him to get a big motorcycle. One he's riding on is what he learned on, and it's obviously too small for him and holding him back a little bit. And I told him, I said, if you stick with this and show me that you can learn how to do this and to do it well, I'll make sure I'll provide you the equipment that you need to excel. And so today's a big day for us. We're going to drive into the city, into Portland, and we're going to get Jack a big bike, his first, not quite full size, but pretty close. And we're super excited about it. So we'll go in there today and get that. And then maybe this evening we can shoot a little video, show you what we got. But both of us are excited, and it's a big day. It's a wonderful, I guess this is the reason why, right here, this video as I was editing it, this is the reason why we made the decision to do this, so that we could have time that we could work together and we could raise our kids in this environment. And I feel very, very blessed to be able to do it. And I'm not saying that this is the only environment or this is the best. It's not. It's just what's best for our family. And I have no regrets. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.